Hello everyone, welcome back to the series. I played 1.8 yesterday, so I gotta switch back my controls. I forgot to do that before I hit record. But yeah, today's topic will be about my favorite foods. So I know it's a bit of an interesting topic, but I do want to spend time to talk about all the things that I enjoy to eat. Because, I think a lot of people say that eating is one of the most important things in life. It's like one of the three essentials, the other ones being sleeping and having a place to live. I think eating is definitely one of the three essential things, right? Oh my god, so many things I did not change. There you go, back to survival style instead of Bed Wars style. Also, a very interesting thing is that I can make my very first piece of netherite. So that'll be interesting. I got one of the smithing templates. Let's go. I can't believe we need to use these now, but it is what it is. Oh, I had to actually make the... I'm really smart, guys. There we go. Netherite pickaxe. But yeah, speaking of the topic for today's video being foods, I have so many different types of food. It's actually kind of crazy. I don't know why dye is in there. Dye is a lot of food. Yeah, but so much things overall. My god. Okay. And in game, I think I'll be trying to do a little bit more. I still need to do some more enchanting, right? I didn't finish enchanting my sword and stuff, so I'm gonna go into Nether and mine some more things while I talk. I'm also gonna get a bit more wood before I do that, actually. Kind of running low on it, and I think I'm also gonna get some iron because I basically have like no iron. It's kind of sad. Like, this is all the iron I have ever in my world, so I need to get some more. Anyways, let's start off by talking about my favorite foods. So ever since I'll kind of go in chronological order as I do in literally all of my episodes. Why is it raining? But ever since I was young, I had a lot of different favorites based on what my dad and mom would buy me whenever we went to eat at a restaurant or something like that. Oh my god, I gotta get away from those things. Holy. So when I was young, I lived in China, in Shanghai. So we were obviously accustomed to eating a lot of Chinese food. So the very first things I enjoyed eating were pieces of Chinese food that we ate at a restaurant. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom is an amazing cook. I don't think I mentioned it the last episode because I was too caught up talking about how good she was at learning new things and how smart she is. But she's also amazing at cooking. Like, my dad can cook, of course. Like, when you become an adult, you naturally kind of learn how to cook stuff. But my mom is like really good at cooking all sorts of different things. Especially over the experience that she had for the past 18 hours cooking, for 18 years cooking things for my family. She's built up a lot of skills and new recipes overall. But no matter how good she is, I think a restaurant is almost always gonna do it better, right? That's just the facts. The people that work there are like professional trained chefs. So the very first things I remember like really enjoying when I ate it during my childhood was like this like fried rice that I had back in Shanghai. I don't exactly remember the exact name of the place that I went to. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was a really good place. And no, it's not like somewhere really popular. It's not like Din Tai Fung or somewhere like that. It was like somewhere that's like kind of underrated, like a local restaurant. And we only went there because it was so close at first, but nowadays we like not nowadays, but as like time went on, we chose to go there by ourselves because the food was just that great. I think it's also the reason that one of my favorite foods, even at the present moment, is fried rice. Yeah, it's just I've never really had like a piece of fried rice that was like bad. I think it's really hard to make fried rice that's bad. Sure, you can make the rice too like clump together or not fried enough or too much oil or whatever, but either way it'll taste good in some way. And I'm not really picky eater, so everything kind of tastes good to me. But yeah, the very first thing I enjoyed to eat was the fried rice from this local restaurant. That is cool. I wish I remember. I forgot the name. It's been like 10 years, right? So I kind of forgot the name. Of course, out of all of these favorite foods I'm gonna list here, I'm not gonna include school food in any single way because the food you get served in a school in China is like, you know, it's I'm not even gonna talk about it now. This should be enough wood. Actually, I'll harvest another one last time. So I did mention that my mom does a lot of cooking, right? So there's like some recipes that my mom has been like doing for a really long time for us, for my family. And so these are the ones that she's best at. Of course, anything involving eggs, she's like spectacular at making, like from fried eggs. Personally, I like my fried eggs like completely cooked, not sunny side up or not halfway or anything. I just like them completely done. Because I like it when the yellow part, it's like, you know, it's the cooked part. It's not raw, and I really like that. So regarding eggs, she can make all sorts of things like egg scrambles. She's really good at it. She can make, what is it, the omelets. Like she's made omelets for me and my dad once. Especially when you put them together with the hamburger steak, it's really good. And that's the thing that we enjoyed both in China and in Korea. Now there's also the boiled eggs, that's what you call it in English. There's boiled eggs, and those are like really good as a snack, kind of. I enjoyed eating those when my mom gave it to me as a snack. Anything with eggs she was really good at making, so eggs are like one of my favorite foods of all time now because of that. Very simple, but it's true. Oh, there's a lot of iron here, let's go. And there's coal, I need that too. I guess it's hard to like just think of a list of things that I enjoy eating because, you know, back then I didn't like list what kind of foods I ate every single day. I do that now, but I used to not do that. But let me just think. Oh yeah, and since I'm a Korean child, even when I was in China, oh, I thought this is coal, god damn it. So even when I was in China, forgot coal doesn't spawn this deep usually. Even when I was in China, I would usually eat like a lot of Korean style food. Korean style fried rice, like kimchi fried rice, not just the Chinese style fried rice. We would also have like the Korean side dishes, like the kimchi, and like different types of, oh my god, and like I forgot what they're called. They're like these kind of vegetables, like these, yeah, the string beans or whatever they're called. The string beans, yeah. I know all like the Korean names for them because I ate them in Korea and in China. So those are not my favorites, like those vegetables. But I'm just saying that I ate those a lot, even when I was in China. But one of the things I did like is whenever my mom did like a lot of different types of Korean soup. So I don't know the names for these in English, but I'll say them in Korean. So we had doenjang, which is like Korean like bean and tofu soup. It was great. And she's also made miyeokguk, which is like seaweed soup, probably very famous So you've definitely heard of it. Like kimchi jjigae, which is like kimchi and it's like spicy kimchi soup. It's really good. So whenever those are like my top 3 favorite like soups that my mom made when I was young, and she's been doing them constantly for the past like 10 years, right? So she became better at making them over time. Yeah, that's like an example for like frequently made foods. This is a bigger cave than I thought. Maybe I'll find some diamonds in here. Lapis is good too. What is this garbage? Okay. Oh yeah, back then, since we were in China, we didn't have a lot of access to all the Korean recipes that we wanted to try, but we had access to a Korean market. So if we wanted to, we could definitely like go to the Korean market that we were close to, and like try all the Korean foods that we wanted, right? But it was a way cheaper to just buy the Korean like side dishes instead of like full menus. So we bought things like Dongwon Chamti, which is like the #1 brand for tuna, yeah, the canned tuna in South Korea. So we had access to those from the Korean market in China. I don't know how they managed to import those, but they did. There's also the tin, like it's not seaweed, but it's seasoned laver, I don't know how to pronounce that. Seasoned laver. And yeah, that is one of my favorite like side dishes because laver goes well on like everything in my opinion. I even put it in soup. You can like put it with fried rice. You can put it in bibimbap, and it's just really amazing because it just goes well with everything, right? Oh my god. Okay. Gave me half a jump scare. But yeah. I guess I never really made a list of my top 10 favorite foods or top 20 or anything. I never made a list of any kind. But just know like laver's gotta be in there somewhere because it just goes well with like everything. Let's go, more diamonds. Totally needed these. Now, I also really liked punshik. Now this is like a Korean thing, right? It's like punshik, it's Chinese characters, but it means like small pieces of food like it's like small food, kind of like part food. But over time, I guess the meaning has kind of changed because whenever you search punshik up on Google now, I saw diamonds. Am I tripping? I'm tripping. Whenever you search that on Google now, you'll see things like tteokbokki and kimbap. These are all Korean names, by the way, but they're pretty popular, so there's no way you haven't heard of kimbap before, right? It's all of those famous things that are called punshik, like those small picnic kind of foods. Sometimes you got tteokbokki, which is like combining noodles with tteokbokki, and it's really good. It's like a revolutionary marketing idea. And there's also like some kind of like, you know, the instant noodles, and yeah, but basically punshik is like all the snack foods. You can put dumplings in there, like Korean dumplings or Chinese dumplings. They're not the healthiest type of food. They're not the healthiest types of food, but honestly, if a food is healthy, it's like a 60% chance that it's not gonna be as good as unhealthy food. You can make that like an 80% chance. There's probably more iron up here in these levels, in this aquifer. Okay, that's gold, never mind. Thank God I have respiration on this helmet. Where did I hear zombies from? any iron. Oh, here we go. Okay. Can't really see anything. Like it's like it's like midday right now, so it's really hard to see anything at this time of day. Oh wait, what? Oh, this has got to be like cheating, right? I don't think this is intended. I didn't know this is possible. That's weird. I don't know what the conditions are for setting that glitch up. But I just need some items, so I'll probably resurface after I get these. Let me think of what else I used to really like enjoying. I really enjoyed to eat as a child. It's really hard to think of like a definite list. But the sure thing is, the one thing I can be sure of is that your food tastes change dramatically over time. So one example of this is my Fusion taste with Japanese food. So back then meaning like in 6th grade or so, I used to really dislike Japanese food. Even like in more modern times, like around like 7th to 8th grade, I really didn't like go actively hunting for Japanese food like sushi or tonkatsu or anything. I didn't really go after looking after it. But in grade 11 and 12, like I just naturally fell in love with like all the Japanese food because first of all, I was studying Japanese, so I was like trying to immerse myself in as much Japanese culture as possible. This is an 8th thing, that's crazy. But yeah, I just noticed how good some of their foods are. Like when I went to Japan, this is kind of a story. This is not really in chronological order, but when I went to Japan in like this spring actually, I was really surprised by how good their food was. Especially when you go to Osaka, which is like literally like the area to start looking for things to eat. It's like the place to go if you want to eat things. I went there and like tried all sorts of different foods, especially at local restaurants where I was humiliated by my language abilities, but that was pretty fun. It's part of learning your language. I was pleasantly surprised at all of the different foods they had to offer. So my point is, your taste in food really changed a lot, especially when you're growing up from being a child to, almost 18 years old, right? So yeah, it's a pretty interesting phenomenon to me. But since I was in China, the main thing I ate apart from being in my house was Chinese food. The great thing is that I didn't live in downtown Shanghai, so when I got back to my school, my house and my school were really like 1 block apart, and that just made it way easier to like commute there, right? I just ride my bike or walk there or whatever. And my current school was also like that. Before I graduated, like I still live right next to my school. I can see it through my back window. And my point is that in the vicinity of my house back in Shanghai, we also had this giant mall. I think it's called Fashion Park or something. If you look it up, it's probably still there or not. I haven't checked in the last 6 years. But my point is, that's a mall where it's like the name goes. It is a mall, but instead of foods, we basically had a lot of food. Instead of clothes like you'd expect at a place called Fashion Park Mall, we had more foods. Not really that much shopping. We had like Mexican restaurants. We had speaking of Mexican restaurant, that place is kind of like the place we always went to celebrate after finishing a season when I first played basketball, which I kind of regret, by the way. But yeah, so there's Mexican restaurants, there's Chinese foods everywhere. There's even like New York style pizza that they claimed it to be. I remember it being pretty good. Bunch of Italian restaurants, Korean restaurants, Japanese, all sorts of things. So I could really experiment with all the different types of food I enjoy eating right there. I kind of want to decorate this back door. This is sad looking. Sorry, I just got caught up like trying to smell all these things. Okay. Yeah, food. There's honestly, it's hard to think of things to talk about related to food because, especially when you're talking about food from your younger self, it's hard to think of these things, right? You don't just automatically remember what your favorite foods were when you were exactly 10 years old. Sort these. So having a back door must be pretty essential. I think I'll build like an X with oak stairs. That should look pretty good. Okay, wait. So, how am I gonna build this? Oh, that was pretty fun. Nah, what is this? Okay. Okay, let me talk a bit more about that Fashion Park Mall that I introduced earlier. Remember how I said it was like the reason I began to love eating food in back in China, right? That's also true because I still remember the name of one of my favorite restaurants there. It was called Blue Frog. It's kind of a funny name, I know. But you should know, like, that restaurant was like incredible in terms of their food. I think I went there a total of like 5 times with my parents, and every single time it was like so worth it. Like every single time we just had such an amazing time eating. That, honestly, this looks pretty cool. It's not symmetrical though. There we go. That's an interesting concept, I think. Oh damn, that adds a lot more depth. Okay. Oh, I like that design. Yeah. Okay. So Blue Frog, it was like a kind of a mixed type of restaurant. It was supposed to be Chinese, but it was like an interesting concept. They had, for example, something called, I think it was designed to appeal to foreigners because they had a lot of Italian food and various Western food as well. I believe they had like hash browns on top of fried rice as well. They had Italian pasta, they had some sort of pizza, but the favorite part about that restaurant, in my opinion, were the drinks. They had smoothies that were called frog floats. So I guess it was floats, not smoothies, but my point is that they were called frog floats. Kind of goes with the whole brand. Kind of goes with the whole brand being related to, you know, frogs, right? So I can understand that. They also had, yeah, but they had the most amazing frog floats. Now I want trapdoors. Spruce one should work fine. Get some grass. That'll work. I want to do some home decor. Exterior decorations. Yeah, that adds something to it. I like it. these are gonna stay flat for the rest of... I'll make this slide actually. Yeah, I am getting quite a bit distracted, you know. It's kind of hard to multitask. So I move on to the next topic. So remember how I mentioned, I think the main point for that section was that it's just really nice being able to enjoy food nowadays because of that Fashion Park Mall that I went to often as a child. Like there were so many different options for me there, and I enjoyed like all the different foods that I tasted there. I wasn't at the age where I would like eat with my friends because I was way too young. I didn't have a debit card that I could use my own money for, so I never really ate out with my friends. Some of my friends already did that at elementary school. I didn't have those privileges. I only started doing that in like 8th grade, if you remember from like the episode where I talked about my social life, I guess. Yeah. I really like that I added the wood supports. Sorry. Yeah, let me talk about some more of my favorite foods when I came to Korea. So, upon coming to Korea, the first thing that I noticed is that the water here was so much cleaner, and that makes a lot of a difference. So, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but if you go to China, you'll notice that it's so common to see dirty water that my mom just didn't trust the tap water. Understandable though, like one time, we found a little rat in our apartment kitchen. So who knows what that rat could have done to our tap water, so good thing that we don't trust it. So instead, what we did for an alternative for 10 freaking consecutive years was drink boricha. And I don't know if you noticed, but boricha is like this kind of bori is barley. It's barley tea. It's like this yellow tea, and it actually tastes really good. So I'm not complaining about it, but it's kind of embarrassing that we had to use that we kind of had to resort to that as an alternative for tap water because we found a rat in our sink. I guess that's kind of understandable too, right? Like even nowadays, even if I'm in Korea where everything's pretty clean, I don't always trust the tap water here. I don't like just drink from it. I think that's kind of common sense. Maybe things are different in other countries, I'm not really sure. But the point is, like, what you drink really changes a lot about your food. So, you know how when you eat like a burger, you don't really drink water, right? You drink like Coke or Sprite, something like that, like a carbonated drink. It's just, I'm not saying it's like illegal to drink water when you eat a burger, but it just tastes, in my opinion, it just tastes so much better when you have it with a carbonated drink, because it's the whole fast food package, right? It was kind of like that for most of the foods back in China, like, because Chinese people drink, like, if you go to Chinese restaurants, you'll notice that they serve tea and everything. So when you're in China, it's kind of like fitting, I guess, in a way, to drink barley tea in front of everything. Their primary tea is not barley tea, it's not Chinese tea, but the point is that they drink tea with everything. It's like you can just taste it and you'll know, wow, this is so Chinese, this thing that I'm drinking right now. But anyways, I had moved to South Korea now, so we can actually get actual water, and man, was it refreshing. And this thing actually went along with all types of food, so because water is like the point of neutrality for like all the different drinks, right? It's not carbonated, it's not tea, it's not juice or anything. So it went along with pretty much all types of food. So that allowed my mom to like kind of expand her recipe as a whole. I know it sounds like a bit of a stretch, but I truly believed that this was the reason that we were able to enjoy so much more food, because of like more clean water, like actual water, you know? It's the reason. Now, isn't this where I like fell? No, it's not here. I'll go here. So some new foods that I got to try in Korea were, of course, you know how I mentioned bunjik earlier, right? Back in China, bunjik was really expensive and hard to come by because it's like a Korean thing. but here it's like 1 in every 3 restaurants sells it. So I think I instantly became attached to tteokbokki as one of my favorite foods, just like fried rice. In comparison, I was beginning to enjoy like the true Chinese fried rice less and less. Of course, I still adore Chinese food. Like Chinese food is really amazing, especially the ones that are popular with tourists. Like I really love like maratang and stuff still to this day. But I think I love kimchi bokkeumbap more. So like kimchi fried rice, and yeah, kimchi fried rice is still one of my favorite foods. And I still love those bunchik, those small snack kind of foods a lot. I'd say if I made a top 10 list, they would definitely be there among the top 10. I think I started to like dumplings less and less because, you know, how I mentioned that food tastes change. I don't know, I just found it a bit too oily for me and not really my style. I think I enjoy spicy foods a lot. If you look at me, I enjoy fried rice. Oh yeah, especially when I came to Korea, I could eat ramyeon. And ramen is like the noodles. It's not instant noodles, it's like, I especially like the noodles that were not instant because I think they just taste better. Obviously they're not like healthier, but they just taste better to me. It's not Japanese ramen, it's like Korean like ramyeon. And my favorite brand of ramyeon is your ramen right now. But back then I really used to enjoy eating Anseongtangmyeon. It's just the name of a ramen brand. It's got the orange packaging, and I think I liked that brand because it wasn't too spicy, but the noodles were also really tender and it wasn't like too stretchy or anything. It was like just the right amount. Honestly, if you're gonna visit Korea, like I really recommend you try ramen because it's like soul food for Koreans. It's like soul food for Koreans, right? Like there's no way you shouldn't be eating it. That could have been close. I don't know how I managed to jump in lava. I'll never know that, I guess. Oh, maybe I'll rewatch it. Now I'll rewatch my own videos. I don't got time for that. I gotta record 2 episodes today. Yeah, speaking of ramyeon, my dad unlike me, my dad has like a list of his top 10 favorite foods. And he said he put ramyeon on like the top 3 of that list because, I mean, tasting I can understand why. Like when you're really hungry, or you just got back home after a really long day, especially if it's raining outside, ramyeon really hits hard. It's like, even if you smell it, it just smells amazing. So when you're cooking it, your mouth is already watering from how good it's gonna be. But man, it's definitely an interesting food. It's just not, once you finish eating it, it doesn't seem as good because, you know, when you're full, obviously all foods are less appealing to you. But ramen I just think has an exaggerated quality in that regard. But additionally, my dad has taught me several things in life regarding food. And one of those things is that there's 3 ways to enjoy ramen a bit better. He said he heard this from his friend, I'm not sure. But it's definitely very wise words that I want to carry to my grave. There are 3 ways to enjoy ramen better. One is by eating ramen that your friend makes, because other people's ramen just tastes better than when you make it. Second is when you're driving and you come to a rest stop. Basically 90% of Korean rest stops have convenience stores or have designated ramen restaurants. And man, those are really good. I don't know how, but they're just really good. So that's the second way to enjoy it. Just go to a rest stop and have it. And the third one is combining those 2. It's like a composite function. It's like you eat ramen that your friend ordered at his own rest stop, or not his own, but you eat ramen that your friend ordered at a rest stop. So you take a in Korea we do this thing where we have our spoon on the left side, we use our chopsticks on the right hand side, and we use our chopsticks to kind of like pick up the noodles from our friend's bowl, and then we like kind of steal it into our spoon. The thing is, that spoon is like just the right size for how much ramen you should be stealing. If you take like more than that, it becomes not that tasty anymore, but taking that spoon only, it just tastes really good. Okay, you hurt yourself, so I'm gonna kill you. That only makes sense, right? Thanks for the pearl. I used all my pearls on Eyes of Ender. Now I have 4 extra Eyes of Ender that have nowhere to go, so I need more pearls. You didn't drop it, okay. mean, farming enderman is not a bad idea for XP, but I don't have like a way to automate that yet. It's not as efficient as what I'm doing right now. This is pretty consistent. I want to get to like level 39. And then I want to enchant my sword for a couple tries, see what I get. Probably not gonna get mending. I'm not gonna get, spoiler, I'm not gonna get like a mending at villager within the series. Maybe if I come back next year to the world, I'll do it, but for now I don't have the time. I don't have the reason to do that because the series is gonna, you know, go to a hiatus within like 4 days. So yeah. It's kind of astonishing that I'm going to college in like 5 days. I mean, I'm going to Toronto in like 5 days, and then I'm going to go to college somewhere else in Canada. Now, let's see. I guess I should bring up fast food. So, I do want to emphasize this point. When I say, I'm gonna start off by saying that I really love eating fast food. How are you dodging literally everything? I want to start by saying that I really love fast food, but not in the way that you expect. It's because, for me, I love Korean style fast food a lot. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been to New York, I've been to America. I've been to America for like a 2-week trip. I went from California to Arizona and back, and I've had burgers like 15 different times. And yeah, In-N-Out's my favorite type of fast food burger, in my opinion. But my point is that I love fast food more in Korea. It's like 1% more healthy, and also we have a lot of like good deals. For example, we have like a separate burger restaurant that excels in something else. So we have a couple Korean set brands. Of course, there's also American brands like, you know, KFC, but I say the Korean original brands are better for, you know, Korean people. So instead of KFC, we also have, on top of KFC, we also have Mom's Touch. And Korean people are really good at making names that sound weird out of context. We got Mom's Touch for burgers. We got a Twosome Place for cafe, which just sounds weird if you don't know if you've never been to Korea. You've also got, I don't think I can say this on YouTube. You got eggs. That's the name of like a egg salad kind of restaurant. But anyway, I live near an area that has a lot of these fast food restaurants, so I can like choose between Burger King. I can choose between Burger King, McDonald's, KFC, Mom's Touch, and this place called Lotteria, which is also another burger fast food chain restaurant. So you got so many Korean options as well, right? You've also got a few exclusively Korean brands like Lotteria and Mom's Touch. And I say like those brands are really good because they have like the Korean touch on them. Remember how I said like everything that comes into Korea has like a Korean touch on it? You know what I mean when I say Korean pizza or Korean burgers or Korean sushi. You know, it's all different from the regular stuff that you expect from their countries of origin. Some people don't like it. Like, I have a friend who despises the Japanese food. Despite them being Japanese, they despise the Japanese food served in Korea because it's not the same. It's like Korean touch, you know. So obviously I'm not Japanese, so I can't understand that, but I can see what they mean by you tweaking gas. But I can see what they mean. There's got more gas tiers. Where did I even fall last episode? I think it was somewhere, I don't even remember. I don't pay attention that much. The quartz supply never runs out, huh? Yeah, speaking of fast food, those are the kind of burger places that I enjoy eating, and burgers are one of my definitely my favorite foods. There's also pizza. Not particularly Indian style pizza. I mean, not Indian, sorry, Italian style pizza. But I don't really enjoy the Korean touch on pizza either, like, because Koreans are obsessed with like dieting, right? So they like they're really good at eating thin pizza. I don't know if it was invented in Korea, but I know it's really popular here. We got more thin menus than the original menus, but I'm a person that really likes the crust of pizzas. Like, I would eat the crust all the time. It's like my favorite part, kind of. Not on toast though. I don't really enjoy the toast crust, but I'll eat that first. But I'll save the pizza crust for last. There's a big difference between pizza and toast crust. Toast is not one of my favorite foods, but I'll definitely enjoy eating a breakfast that's combined with toast and like peanut butter and that kind of thing. But it's not on my, like, it wouldn't be on like my top 10 list. But pizza, definitely, I enjoy eating it sporadically. You know, I do like to take care of my health, so I don't eat it like every single day, but it is one of my favorite foods. Now, speaking of that, that's like all of the fast foods. I don't really like other fast foods, like I don't really like hot dogs or sandwiches that much. I can eat them, but if I had a choice, I would not. How did you hit this guy's reach? Okay. I forgot to... this is fun. This has gotta be like revolutionary. This is like my favorite mode of transport. Does this take durability? I don't think it does. If it does, I wouldn't know. I think you gotta build up like a rhythm to do that efficiently. But Death Strider is superior here. It's just good. Now, I don't have that much time left for this episode. I'm gonna have to start making the next one soon, so I'm gonna wrap up by talking about my current food tastes. I think I've mentioned Italian food a lot, but I enjoy pizza and pasta, but not at the point where I go like looking for it purposefully. And it's not that good in my opinion. Maybe I'll do something with these quartz blocks. Make like a luxury room or something. So nowadays, it depends on what I eat, but you know how I'm allowed to like eat with my friends now, right? I can do that now. So I do that often by going to places near my house. And since I live near like a really cool area where there's like everything here. So I enjoy eating burgers, of course, with my friends. Sometimes there's like a lot of cool restaurants. In fact, I'm making a tier list at this very moment for popular restaurants near my school. And in there I have, you know, the Chinese food that I enjoy eating, like maratang. There's also like, but I think the owner there changed, so it's not as good as anymore, but it's still one of my favorite foods. We also got, there's like Japanese places. I think I've mentioned earlier how I used to not like Japanese food that much, but nowadays it's like one of my favorite things to eat because maybe you understand, but it's just really cool when you get to enjoy Japanese food. It's just such a good feeling because it's clean and it's not that much, at least the ones I've eaten so far. So I'd say definitely it's worth trying all the Japanese food you can get your hands on. When I went to Japan, I tried like everything I could, so. That's gonna take a lot more work. Yeah, so speaking of Japanese food, I know a really good sushi buffet near where I live. And a really good place for me to enjoy sushi, just regular sushi. We got the Japanese curry as well. Overall, it's just really nice. I like this build. It really depends on what my friends are trying to eat at that time, but I'm okay with anything. Maratang, chow mein, chow fan from Chinese food. When I went to Osaka, I think I ate like almost everything. I wanted to eat as much Japanese food as possible, so I think I ate all the popular ones. You know, the ones that are popular to tourists. Like I ate tonkatsu, I ate Japanese ramen. I didn't have soba noodles because I didn't have time, but I had sushi. I had like conveyor belt sushi. You know, basically all the Japanese tourist food, and I had it all because, you know, I am a tourist for that time being, so I wanted to enjoy the eateries at Osaka. Now, as a final note, nowadays, because recently I've been getting into like managing my weight and stuff, and trying to be more fit. So apart from going to the gym, I've also been tracking my progress on eating stuff. So nowadays I record. It's been inspired by a friend, but I don't know if they still do it anymore, but I still do it because it's a fun habit. I record literally everything I'll eat, 3 meals a day, some snacks if I have to, and this way I can see, because before that I wasn't really aware of how many calories some of these snacks take up, how many grams of like fat these have, and being aware of that really helps you be more mindful of what you're eating, so you can like think twice before thinking, should I eat that pack of Cheetos? It's gonna like be like 20 grams more fat than I would like, and you can like take a moment to reflect upon yourselves, right? So it's a good opportunity. And yeah, I think I've been doing that since this May. It's been quite a while, yeah, but I have not regretted to doing that option. Like, it's been really helpful for me. And I'll see if I'll try to continue that habit up until I graduate college. This episode is going to draw to an end soon. Just want to complete my pool. This is gonna be a pool, by the way, if you don't know. It's gonna be kind of like a exquisite pool. And yeah, it'll be cool. Maybe I'll use glowstone for the lights. Put a slab. That there. That's more symmetrical. Yeah, I'm gonna end the episode about me talking about food right here for now, once I fill this pool completely. I talked about a lot more than I thought I would initially. Like, I guess there's a lot more to food than I initially thought. Yeah, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to, like and subscribe. The funny thing is, I'm gonna take like a 5 to 10 minute break, come with a new topic. I think I'm gonna talk about the things I'm gonna bring to Canada for this trip I'm gonna go on soon. And from then on, it'll be like another episode. So yeah, I'm gonna be filming the same thing. And this episode will be released the very next day, so I'm only gonna release this one today, but I'm secretly gonna record it like in like 10 minutes and then just upload it. This way I can like schedule my upload so I can upload 2 videos ahead of time, you know? So I can be on time for my flight on the 25th. Anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. See you in 5 to 10 minutes, which is basically a day for you guys. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great day or night, and I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.